back as wide receiver just don't work out with the new pat. All my man's throws was bullet passes and it just wasn't working out. So we about to run this ball and be the feature back of these mighty Raiders here. Get them to the Super Bowl. Gotta catch Todd Gurley, 90 overall.
Chucky is back. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, for the first time in more than 16 years, John Gruden takes to the sideline here in Oakland as coach of the Raiders. But they're in for a tough test against a playoff team from a year ago, the Los Angeles Rams. I'll talk to you again at halftime with a look back to games from yesterday. But first, we head out to the East Bay. Standing by, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The pregame festivities here in Oakland have to be seen to be believed. This crowd in silver and black, they are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Los Angeles Rams. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
And they'll run it here. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on third down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Carr going to go on 4th down. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
That good for 19 at a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Rams have got it back. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Here's Carr to throw. Running over the middle by Graham. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. So they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. And I think he's a guy, if they had let him walk, no one was going to be shouting from the top of a mountain, but he's a good guy. He's a good locker room guy, too.
Good locker room and a good player. I mean, he's a valuable starter for them. And if you just want to start over and maybe bring in someone new, the learning curve might be a little bit big. So it's a good job by getting him taken care of. And now they can move forward.
He's going to air one out. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down all the way inside the LA 10. A big play that time for the Raiders. 58 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And they'll go on the ground. They stop short. Down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get it all the way home. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. That's what they wanted out of that first down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in, and now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side. Line up quickly and go, or savor it a little bit, but I run right back at them. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers.
And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A great play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Raiders are back within a score. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Fielder just inside the 20. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Marshawn Lynch and the Raider offense heading back out there. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it. have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
And as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
29. Yeah, 98's down. 58, 98.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now this is fielded in the end zone. Shouting through the defense. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Raiders will get it at their 20-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt.
That's football. That's fine.
Throwing on 1st down. Carr. It's complete to Brown, right side. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. With that grab, by the way, Antonio Brown now over 10,000 receiving yards in his career.
That is an incredible, significant accomplishment. You're saying 10,000 yards? How many other guys have done that in NFL history?
He's the 46th all-time.
And one of the few that are active.
Yeah,
incredible.
There's only a few that are active. He still, though, is a ways away from Jerry Rice, up over 22,000 for the all-time lead. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. John Gruden's return to the sideline not going as planned thus far, but his Raiders do have it 1st and 10. To throw his car. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch them close to the spot.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Hey, Raider 2. 734. Low, low, low. Cover 0.
Snap comes at 1, and it's Carr. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quitting him.
0.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
808.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
Well, he was advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that. But I think that they were right about this one.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Kill.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
They go play action here on first down. Out to the right here to Wilson. Now loose football. The ball comes out. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way. And he will score. Touchdown, LA. Now a play fake here on first down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Get down! 7:34. 29.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist. And his guys are going to take over at their... The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Aaron Donald in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Carr now to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Here's Carr. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw, it's Carr. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he will score. Touchdown, LA.
I might as well just stop that fucking shit.
That one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for...
Every time, interception, touchdown. Every time.
Hey, we're due. 808.
Now Carr to try again after the pick 6. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it. Yes.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 17.
The fuck?
Shotgun now for Carr. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
6-18.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. It's complete to Graham. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need. That's exactly what they got done.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. And they'll run it here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now, before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And they'll go on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late.
And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Michael Brockers coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
694.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Aaron Donald in there to get him. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really this night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Los Angeles, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they go down to defeat here in the opener.